Before we start writing content, it is helpful to understand the SmartGuide content architecture and terminology. The main building block is a point of interest or simply POI. POI can be, for example, a city square, castle, or a statue in a park. A POI includes photos, narrative, and audio describing what makes it interesting. It is what a guide would say about the POI when introducing it to a visitor. The story can be complemented by structured additional information such as address, website, or admission. In the app, there is a special section called Top Sites, in other words, top POIs within the specific destination, where all of these POIs are listed according to their priority. Most of the POIs are outdoor and they pop up when a visitor arrives close to some GPS coordinates. We also refer to them as places. There are, however, also indoor POIs that we call exhibits. An exhibit can be a vintage car in a museum collection, painting on the gallery wall, or even a single precious letter Einstein wrote to his friend. Exhibits have a bit different, darker design optimized for the indoor viewing, and unlike outdoor POIs, they are not open using GPS, but rather manually, using QR codes, Bluetooth beacons, or NFC. A tour is a numbered sequence of POIs, connected by a recommended route, navigation in between places, and wrapped in one package with its own introduction and ideally a storyline throughout the tour. It is the digital equivalent of a tour guide showing you around. Tours can be outdoor with a map and GPS route, or indoor where they can follow a visitor flow through an attraction. POIs and tours are grouped into municipalities. Municipalities can vary in size significantly, from a small village with 5 POIs to a big city with 500 POIs and 20 tours. Municipalities have their own screen, and besides providing various lists of its POIs and tours and maps, they can also contain local experiences, a tourist card, or even a calendar of local events, and they can be downloaded as one package for offline use. Local tourism information offices and DMOs are entitled to manage the guide to their destination. Regions are similar to municipalities, but on a bigger scale, and besides POIs and tours, they also include entire municipalities. Regions can follow the geopolitical region that is often promoted by a destination marketing organization, DMO, but it can also be a region from a tourist perspective across municipalities, such as the Carpathian Mountains. A POI can thus be included in multiple regions used for different promotional purposes. States and countries like the USA, Bundeslands in Germany, or provinces in China are now all considered regions, even though SmartGuide might further differentiate regional types in the future. Countries are a similar structure to regions, but can intuitively also contain regions, and municipalities have their own flag and are used quite extensively in search. They can be administered by national tourism boards. So far, we talked about grouping POIs into larger guides, but what about POIs that include more POIs inside? For example, a gallery is a POI on its own within a municipality, but it also includes many exhibits. A botanical garden is a POI, and it includes plants and statues as exhibits. SmartGuide calls these POIs attractions, and they can have their full guide with exhibits and tours and everything else nested underneath. Finally, tourism organizations can create branded guides that include content across municipalities, regions, or countries. For example, you can have a guide to all attractions administered by a national heritage organization, or a guide to all destinations served by a transportation company. To sum it up, SmartGuide offers the most flexible content architecture on the market that provides each tourism organization with a space to promote their area and creates a seamless experience for a visitor. So, for example, within Spain is Andalusia region, within that is Malaga municipality. The English Cemetery is a place within Malaga with a short narrative. When we visit it, we can double-click to explore and get a detailed tour of the cemetery with its own points of interest, exhibits, such as the gatehouse or tombstones of famous people.